Hello there, welcome back to another tutorial. In this one, I'm quite clearly going to show you how to make this statue of a knight, as the title suggests. This is what it could look like if you make it correctly and you add some foliage to it. We've got this example without the foliage, and we've got other examples for some reason. I'm going to begin with the tutorial now, so I'm going to leave the block count on the screen now, possibly, or in the description. I'm going to show you various diagrams. We're going to do each stage, well, stage by stage, I suppose, and yeah, at some point you may have a finished statue, just like this one. So let's begin. I'll just disable the shaders, actually. Right, stage one. We're going to start with some stone. So I suggest that you begin this project slightly off the ground. So let's pretend the ground is down here somewhere. Let's say it's down there. Alright. You want to make it, let's say, about 20 blocks up. So let's go 20 blocks up. I don't know why I'm deleting that. But anyway, and then you get a center point. And then from here, it's 14 blocks out, including this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Apologies for the invisible blocks there. For some reason, my game is doing it. I think it's because of the mods that I've installed. And then you want to create this circle. So it's 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if I remember that correctly. So 4, 3, 2, hopefully I don't merge into this one. 3 and then 4. No. And then you want to copy this over. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Same thing. Oh, that should be free, yeah. Right, there you go. So actually semicircle, and then using the power of world edit, I'm going to do this much faster than you. Alright, there's your circle. So you can make that into a cylinder, as you can see here. So fill that out, make it as tall as you want. And then we're going to start adding these pieces. So I've used polished andesite here. And then what else have I used? Stone brick. So you want to get yourself some stone bricks, possibly. You can make this out of sandstone. You can make this out of whatever you want, obviously. Stone brick. Right, try not to get the infested stone brick. Okay, and then at this point, oh, so go, and then how many blocks high? Sorry about these invisible blocks, I know that's really annoying. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 blocks high. Then, sorry, my dog's behind me as well, so hopefully he doesn't start barking during this recording, otherwise I'm going to have, well, an issue to solve later on. Have I gone wrong? No. Alright, let's start from this side. You'll obviously be able to see on the diagram anyway. So, not to worry. Oh yeah, that one goes like this, if I'm not mistaken. Or am I totally wrong? Hang on, how have I done this? Yeah, that's right. Wow. Okay. So that's how you do it. So 1 post there, and then 4 in between. No, 3 in between, sorry. Wow. This tutorial already. Okay, and then repeat that onto the other side. So yeah, 1 right in the middle between those 2 blocks. Okay, there we go. I think that's correct. Yeah. All right, and then you can add these fancy bits on top. Hey, so I made a mistake with the decorative pieces as usual. So what you want is this. There you go, and then slab like this, and then repeat that all the way around in line with the curvature of the circle. So, oh, there should be stairs, shouldn't they? Alright, pretty simple. Alright. Been working again today. Pretty tired. But I think I'll go for a run after this recording session. Give me something, do something to relax me a little bit. I like going on long runs, de-stress myself. A lot of people recommend meditation, don't they? But I don't know, I'm not very good at that somehow, even though it's literally just, well, doing nothing. I find it very difficult somehow. And I prefer to do something active. I think when you're running, it's quite therapeutic anyway, so yeah, or cycling. Right, that's how you do that. What are we doing now? Oh, you can add these bits around the side. So just for some stone brick, add a layer, a 2 thick layer. Just like that. Alright, and then what are we doing? Put a wall block in the middle, and then, oh god, these invisible blocks really grinding my gears. Oh, and then just like that to give yourself, well, what would you call it, like a railing? A railing? Is that the correct terminology? Alright, there you go anyway. Alright, copy that over, and yeah, you'll have a complete set. On the bottom here, you can add these things as supports. Okay, so once you've finished that, it will look something like this, as you can see. So you can add these textures to it, make it as tall as you like, and you can also add this stairway around the side. So all I've done, it's 4 blocks from the base cylinder. So 4 blocks, and then you just take it down a block. You know, a block every time. You don't need to use stairs. I think it looks good like this because it kind of adds to the, well, the rustic feel. But yeah, that's how it will look once you've finished that. I hope that's clear enough for you. I'm going to continue the tutorial on this side. So what we want to do is create another circle within this sort of stand, and it is 4 blocks, no, 3 blocks high, as the diagram says there, and it's, what is it, a 5, a 2, a sort of, I don't know what you could call them, a V, and it starts 4 blocks in, so 1, 2, so it's, what was it, a 5, and I'm using regular stone to do this, a 2, V, 2, right, there you go. So yeah, it's a pretty simple build up until this point. You can really use any sort of block type that you may like. Sandstone would be a good choice, but it's whatever you have a lot of, I suppose, and you can easily get stone. You can make this out of cobblestone if you want. Obviously, I've used cobblestone in the final version, as you can see there. Right, so make that 3 blocks high, and then from here you can make this smaller circle, which is 10 blocks high, and that is 2 blocks from the edge, and it's a 5, a 2, and a 2. So, what did I say? 2 blocks. Really hope I don't make any ridiculous mistakes in this video. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Just like that. Make it 10 blocks high, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 blocks out. Alright, there you go. Fill that in and you'll get to this stage. And what are we doing here? Right, this is slightly more complex. So we want to make something that's 3 blocks high, and I think it's 1 block, just 1 block wider. Yeah, that's right. So I'm going to come out by 1 block here. Okay, and then come out by another block. I think it's probably best to, no, we'll leave that actually. Leave that. Oh God, I've got knee pain. Because my leg's been in a single position for the last 15 minutes. I used to have a bit of knee pain, but now I'm injury free, thankfully. Yeah, it's just when I go cycling sometimes I get this problem, like soreness behind my my kneecap. Not behind my kneecap, like, you know, at the back of the knee, which is a bit strange. Like maybe it's got something to do with the hamstring. I don't know. But anyway, almost finished the stage. It's up to you if you want to fill this in. I imagine if you're in survival, you could just make these cylinders hollow, put some torches in there to stop the mob spawning. So yeah, that's that segment done. And now we're on to the actual statue. So yeah, I'm just going to complete this little section. So you want to start with a cylinder, obviously. Make the surrounding sort of these railings and arches, and then you can make the stairway up to the top, so spiraling round, and then you could just make an opening here. You know, simple as that really. And yeah, make those cylinders up here. It's really simple. If you want to change the design, make it shorter, taller, whatever. If you want to change the railings, that's obviously fine. In terms of texturing, I mean, I've used these blocks to make it look a bit better, but I don't know, I think maybe cobblestone would be a good choice. And if you could mix in some like mossy cobblestone like I've done there with some stone brick, so when we're doing sort of the foliage later on, it might look a little bit better. But yeah, it's up to you. It's absolutely fine, whatever you choose. So we're going to be moving on to the first part of the statue now. I hope this goes well. Yeah, I'm hoping I'm not going to make any mistakes in this segment, but we'll see. You'll have the diagrams obviously to help you out. So to begin, we're going to start right here, and so right there. So begin with this layer, and I think it's as simple as that for this segment. Sorry, there should be a block there. Can you see that? There you go. So that's how you start it. Once again, I'm using a mixture of cobblestone and mossy cobblestone, stone brick, and what was it? Like, I'm using a mixture of blocks. So I recommend that you do that as well. What do we want for this? So I'm essentially doing the tutorial alongside you, so any mistakes that I make, well, it's my own fault, I suppose. It's the my own lack of quality and the lack of quality of these sort of diagrams that I've given myself and you. So, right, so that's stage 2. I'd really recommend that you mostly follow the diagrams, because copying me probably isn't the most what's the word, like, relaxing thing that you could do. I'm probably going to make quite a few mistakes, but yeah, I'm going to have the diagrams, the full-size diagrams, somewhere in the description so that you can copy those and, well, not waste your time with the video if you know, you don't want to listen to the sound of my voice. Not sure how well this commentary is going. I think sometimes I'm really in the mood to do it, other times I'm slightly annoyed, and I wonder why am I doing this to myself? Why am I making such a long video? The last tutorial of this kind that I made, I think a lot of people complained about it because it's really hard to follow. Well, I've made kind of a mistake there, but we can sort this out. And I understand the criticism. It's just it's hard to, sometimes it's harder to make a good tutorial than it is to actually make the build itself. So yeah, I think this design's a little bit better, but we'll see. We'll see if there are abusive comments in the comment section. You'll know that I failed. So what do we want here? So it comes up to here, this one, and then what is it? Is it 2 blocks higher? 2 blocks higher. So 1, 2, and then what you'll notice with these segments, they'll all be symmetrical apart from the part where there's a shield, and the arms obviously won't be symmetrical as well, because one of the arms is holding a sword. Yeah. Right, what are we doing here? I don't know why this isn't all solid. To be honest with you, I don't think this part really matters too much, because you won't be able to see, you know, the hollow bits here, like that. For example, here, I'm just covering this anyway. So if you get this wrong, it's really not going to make any difference at all. But there are obviously parts that do matter and will have an effect. But those will be later on in the video. So yeah, don't worry about any little mistakes. To be honest, like, any little mistakes, they really won't impact the build at all, really. Because, well, if you're following this design, the design that I like, the Overgrown style, if you make a mistake, unless it's a major one, it will just look like the statue's slightly chipped or something, which I suppose adds to the realism. Yeah, it's not a problem. What are we doing? We coming straight down? Oh no. Sorry about this. Right, there we go. Right, that'll do it. That'll do it. Okay, next stage. There are quite a few stages, as you can see. That looks a bit daunting, but this is the thickest part of the statue, so this will be the hardest part, I suppose, the most time consuming part. So what is it? Straight up and then a block in, and the same on the other side. Just wondering how many miles I want to run. I might do after work I've done, the furthest I've done is like 21 miles. And that, I'd do longer, like I could do a full marathon, but it would take me about 4 or 5 hours, and by the time I'm back and I've eaten something, it's already 7 o'clock, and I don't really want to spend, well, I don't want to get back at 10 or 11 o'clock. You know, having run a marathon, that's a bit grim, isn't it? But I could do, I don't know, like 8 miles is a pretty comfortable distance. And I did 3k before work. With this like park run going on where I live, and it's kind of annoying because they set all this equipment up, and there's like a big, not equipment, like a start line and a finish line, and they're blocking the path, and it's just annoying. Like I want the park for me, not for them. Right, and then you can fill that in. I don't know what to talk about in these commentaries, really. I do find it interesting, like, who's actually listening to this. Who's listening? I don't watch many of the Minecraft videos from different creators. I don't know how they structure their tutorials. I think most of them are a lot more professional than my own, and I think that's good, but I also think in many cases it's unnecessary because let me just fill this in, because you can do most of this through diagrams anyway, and I think people like just maybe like to build along with the video, which is fine. And what I'm saying, oh, here we go, we've got a stair, the first non-full block. Right, where is it? I just don't think the commentary is particularly important, really. I think people just like, I don't know, they like some noise that's not, I don't know, irritating. They like non-irritating noise to be in the background. That's not my dog, by the way, if you can hear that. Alright, so we get to this part, and then we come out by 1. Again, you don't need to get this perfectly, that part's really not important. And then same on the other side. So how many blocks is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 excluding the stair. And then come up here, and then you go. And then what do we have? So it's 4 blocks. 1, 2, so 4 blocks there. Come in. Come inside. And then there you go. Do that on the other side. I mean, this has got to be better than my old tutorial. And I don't know, like, sometimes I wonder how good is this tutorial, because I never actually, oh, so I've gone wrong there. I've never actually watched one of my videos and tried to do the tutorial. But in this case, I'm kind of doing the tutorial, you know, in order to make the tutorial. Does that make sense? It's like a tutorial within a tutorial. I mean, I imagine they're very difficult, but I always think if I was in your shoes, I would make a lot of it up. I would use a lot of my own intuition and, you know, go off and make it my own, I suppose. But I don't know. I never really followed tutorials when I was playing back in the day. Right, here we go. So come here, 2 blocks, remove those 2, and then come all the way up. Same on this side. I can imagine people saying I'm placing the blocks too quickly, but do you want this tutorial to be 3 hours long? I certainly don't. And I just think the diagrams, like, just follow the diagrams, you know? I think that's the easiest way. That's what I'm doing now, essentially, except they're 3-dimensional and to my right, so if anything, it's kind of harder for me because I'm having to turn to the right side, whereas you're looking at a 2-dimensional diagram that can be expanded or minimize depending on what you want. There we go. So that's it. And then I'm gonna fill this in. Okay, there we go. I'm doing quite well actually. I think this is quite an impressive performance. I'm not showing you which blocks to choose, you know, the actual block type, so that you can texture it how you'd like to, because I think that would be, well, too time consuming, and I think it's easier to go back once you've made the shape and then add the textures that you like. So if you want to add a different type of material, what was that noise then outside? A different kind of block for the shield or the helmet, you can go back and change those blocks. But I would suggest, as you're doing this, it wouldn't surprise me if no one listens to this, but I would suggest using cobblestone or mossy cobblestone. I think that would look quite nice as the base material. But I'm using stone here because that's the block that that's the block that I'm using through, well, it's just a coincidence basically. It's the first to come up, isn't it? I don't know why I didn't use cobblestone. Yeah, using it for no reason. Right, we've got a wall block here. Do they have stone walls now? No, they don't. Well, I'll use an andesite wall because that's the most similar. Okay, so we come here and invisible blocks again, and then come up. I guess this part is pretty simple. One of my friends, she was talking to me about the pyramids, the Bermuda Triangle, and what was it now? The Illuminati. I said, I can learn about these topics and we can talk about them. I know something about the Bermuda Triangle now. Apparently Christopher Columbus. It's the most like ill-educated thing that I'll ever say in this channel. He said something like, oh, it's a dangerous part of the Atlantic Ocean. I think it's because you get quite a few hurricanes in that region. So naturally it's going to be more dangerous than other regions. And then after I think it was in 1945, just after the war had ended, a few planes, like, you know, fighter planes went out for a training mission and they didn't come back. And there've been like a few other, you know, accidents over there. But if you look at the current rates, according to a video I watched on YouTube, sorry, so this is 3 blocks from there, and then you go up, and then that's where the wall should be. I hope that's clear enough for you. Yeah, if you look at the current rates of accidents, it's actually not particularly high, so there's no real effect, according to, well, a YouTube video that I've watched. So that's the Bermuda Triangle. It's not aliens. It's not, well, it's just nothing really. It's not some ancient civilization under the water. There's no real effects. So it's not worth talking about. Pyramids. I think with the pyramids, it's just a case of doing something and, you know, taking your time. Because the most impressive thing is not the complexity of the build. I would say the pyramids, sorry, I've done that slightly wrong because I've welded it. There we go. They're not the most amazing construction, are they? They're just massive. So I just imagine they used what they had, you know, the technology that they had. There probably wasn't any alien involvement, in my opinion. They just did it slowly. But yeah, you might have other ideas. Have I done that correctly? Yeah, sorry. So with the shield, so this is part of the shield. You want to come 1 block in, make it this high. Yeah, that's right. And with the wall there, just add another wall block. So that's going to form the cross that you can see later on. You can see it over there a little bit. Is that clear enough? Yeah, there you go. On to the next stage. Yeah, I mean, it's quite amazing. They were using top copper tools back then, which they've added to the game in 1.19, I believe. Right. So I don't believe there's any AD involvement in terms of they're facing in a particular direction, like they're facing into a certain, like, I don't know, towards a certain star or something. I don't know. They were probably quite good at astronomy, like the Mayans. Was it the Mayans or the Aztecs? Probably the Mayans, because they predated the Aztecs, if I'm not correct. Their astronomy was actually more advanced than the European astronomy at the time, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think maybe some of their technology was really good, and they just took the time with it. You know, that's what I think. Yeah, I think if the technology was really good, they wouldn't have been outcompeted by competing civilizations. Like, were they outcompeted by the Hittites? Or I know they were sort of maybe not outcompeted, but they were like influenced heavily by the Greeks. And I think if they had this like superior technology, surely they wouldn't have been sort of like bullied around by these competing civilizations in the area. Right, so you want to continue this wall, I think, down to, alright, just like that. So you've got your 2 blocks and then 3 above and then 3 below. Yeah, there you go. So I don't know, I'm skeptical of that. I think, I don't know, I'm not really impressed by the pyramids. I think something like the Colosseum, now that is impressive. That's one of my favourite buildings. Not only because of the skill that's gone into crafting it, but the fact that it's got a purpose. Like the pyramids, it was just a fancy tomb for some rich guy back in the day, which isn't very useful in my opinion. Whereas the Colosseum, yeah, Christians were executed, but the people of Rome were also entertained. So, you know, if 50,000 people are being entertained and there's only one person in terrible pain, then on the balance of things, it's probably a net positive if you think about it that way. But again, you might have different opinions. Alright, and then continue that wall. There you go. See, it's getting easy now. Getting easier. It's interesting because there's a philosophy. Is it a philosophy? There's a way of thinking that says our morality should be based on maximizing the happiness of the greatest number of people. I forget what that's called now. There's probably someone watching this video thinking like, yeah, I know what that is. You're a moron for not remembering it, but you know, whatever. I can't remember what it's called. I was reading a book, something like I forgot what the book's called now. I've forgotten the author's name, I've forgotten everything, but I remember this principle in it, so sorry. I think that's it actually. Yeah, that's it. That's the end of this segment. It's something about, what was it now? Right, we're going on to the next stage. Let's see if I remember this. Was it meritocracy? Something. The tyranny of meritocracy. The tyranny of merit? Something like that. It's a really good book actually. And yeah, for some reason he's talking about some people think it's good to maximize sort of the well-being. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at phrasing stuff. Anyway, back to the tutorial. So we're going to start the second stage. It's 4 blocks up, sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, is it a 3? I think it's a 3. Anyway, the point is, if you think like that, if you think that the goal of of societies to maximize the well-being of the greatest number of people. You forget about the individual, and then that leads to tyranny. So yeah, the takeaway is don't feed Christians to lions to entertain the mob in Rome. There's your lesson today, kids. Right, second layer. And then there's other sort of like moral conundrums, like there's this railway one, right? Okay, so 5 blocks, so I'm getting distracted, 5 blocks. And then 3 blocks. Yeah, 3. And then 2, and then 1, and then... Have I gone wrong? No, I have. I never go wrong. Never go wrong. Okay. Now, as I'm filling this out, I can tell you about this. Right, so there's a railway. I'm gonna start lisping. A railway, and a 1 lane. There's. This is obviously a really well-known conundrum. So I imagine you've heard of this a million times. But one line, there's 4 people, let's say. On the other, there's 1, and the train's heading for the 1. The question is, do you pull this lever which diverts the train to kill the 1 rather than the 4? And most people would say, yeah, pull the lever, let's kill this 1 person instead. So essentially in a way you're murdering this person in order to save 4. But then if the question's altered slightly, so there's 4 people on a line, and then there's a particularly large individual, a fat individual, and if you were to push him or her onto the line, you would definitely save the 4 to save the 4 lives. But then most people at this stage say no. But what's the difference? What is the difference? It's interesting. Anyway, so yeah, 5 blocks here, and then 5 blocks again, and then 2, and then 1. So it's 1 block higher than the previous segment. And then we want balls here. And obviously you can use this argument for different cases, like let's say if you're in a hospital, you're a doctor, you need some organs, some of your patients are dying because they don't have organs. A healthy individual comes in and just visiting sick relative, but his organs can be harvested, and you can save obviously your patients. So let's say you have 6 patients, so using his life you can save 6. Now, is it moral to harvest his organs without his consent? Now, if we're using the reasoning from the first railway example, you'd say yes. But why is that? Because most people would say that's very wrong in our society. In Eastern England over here, in the United Kingdom, we don't harvest people's organs. So it's just interesting. Right. Okay. So moving on. This part's quite easy because you can just connect it to these parts and then move up. So this is 5 blocks. So 1 lower. And then I think this is the same height. Yeah, just like that. And then you have other examples like, I don't know if I'm sounding a bit obsessive here. These are the topics that run through my head sometimes. Like dropping terror bombing, for example. So Britain just terror bombing Germany, and then the US dropping nuclear bombs in Japan. Like, was that moral? I don't know. I don't think I would want to drop nuclear bombs on people, but I can understand the argument. Right, what do we want here? Okay, we want another wall here. And then we continue this. I've been watching The Witcher recently. Henry Cavill. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think without Henry Cavill, it really wouldn't be it would be far less good. I'm not sure if it probably still would be good, but I know he's leaving after this season. I think he's leaving after this season, which is disappointing. Yeah, it's a shame. He's a good actor. Yeah, he's having a good career. It's nice to see. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Is this a mistake? I don't know. Hang on. That's one block from there. Oh, so this is coming out for some reason. To be honest with you, I think there are some mistakes with this model. So if you come across something like that, don't worry about it. It's probably my mistake rather than your own. Yeah, just blame me if something goes wrong. Right, and then we want another wall here. And then, what do we want? Imagine this comes inwards. Oh no, it stays there. Ah, okay, this is going to be easy. Oh, got the hiccups. And then what happens here? Oh, it's straight up. Yeah, someone tells me this an error with the model. An error with the model, a mistake somewhere. But you can see, I think the finished actually looks quite nice, so can you complain? Okay, and then fill this in. All right, making good progress. My dog's just jumped down. Let me just see what he's doing. Oh, he's lying down now. Right, very good. He's called Theo, by the way, and he's 9 years old. He's doing well for 9. Right, are we up to here? Yeah, sorry. Right, another wall. Oh, God. Pretty tired. Doing 6 blocks. Is that correct? 6. Did I count 6? No. 6 and then 2. So there's 8. Yes, that's correct. Oh, sorry. Making a mess of this. How's this going? I'm just making this so it's symmetrical. I think that's correct. Oh, maybe not. How is this? Oh, right, I see. Is that 2? Yeah, that's 2 blocks. So let's expand it out. There we go. So these are the shoulders. Obviously he's got good delts this night because he's been swinging his heavy sword repeatedly. What have I done here? Is this correct? Oh, that's coming in by 2. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. And then you can fill this in. I don't know how people make such professional tutorials. I've seen a few by, I think, some Chinese content creators, and I don't know how they make these like little buildings, and they're not the best like models I've ever seen, but for their size they're really good. And when I say they're not the best, it's because they're on the smaller side, I think. But they are really good, and I just don't know how they make the tutorials so good. They've got all these like fancy video editing, and I've just got a text message. That's strange. People don't usually message me. I'm not popular enough. Right. All right. Let's continue. Okay, that's correct, I believe. And then wall blocks. Yeah, I think this is a mistake. Anyway. No matter. It just makes the tutorial a bit harder to follow. I imagine. We've got 4 blocks here. This one's quite a hard section, I believe. And then round like this. Trying to concentrate now. Oh, he's made a mistake. I don't know what to do. Oh, it's a half slab. Look at that. Let's get some half slabs out. So that was only a half mistake, you could say. There we go. Right. That's not so hard, is it? Let's see if I remember it. So 4 blocks up here, and then round, and then, yeah, I've forgotten it. Oh, God. Oh no, it's a half slab, isn't it? Yeah. There you go. Alright. Looking good. Looking good. Look at those abs there. God, had to get those in. Oh, that's what we're going to be doing now. So, what have I got? Oh yeah, I've got all the blocks necessary. Obviously, the knight has to have amazing abs. Because, I don't know, I think when you're making a statue of a man, he should be ideal, and you know, I think you should give him an ideal body type, I suppose. You know, I don't like all this stuff about having body positivity. Like, why don't you just go to the gym, you know? Or you know, if you don't, then fine. But don't complain that magazines are using certain body types. I don't think you have the right to complain there. Anyway, probably offended a few people with that comment. What are we doing? Okay. Alright, there we go. Now, some people can't even get 6-packs, like they're and you get people with like really asymmetrical 6-packs, which is weird, but this knight has I don't know why I'm talking about this in such detail. This is going to come across like, I don't know, like I'm interested in knights, if you know what I mean. Right, anyway. You know, like famous bodybuilders like Ronnie Coleman, he didn't, like, I've looked at his physique, and obviously that's well, it's impressive, but he didn't have like a 6-pack really. He had this like really well defined 4-pack. I don't know why I'm just talking about this. It's such a weird topic. Anyway, I'm just saying, even if you work really hard, you might not get 6 defined abs like this man, like this gentleman. But that's fine. Just you know, I just don't like this like body positivity stuff. I think If you're overweight, then fine, but don't pretend it's healthy and don't pretend it's good or something to be proud of. It's just, you know, if someone puts effort into anything, if they're a bodybuilder, it's impressive, you know. And it's like an artist, if they've drawn something that's really good, it's nice to appreciate that. And you know, yeah, it's impressive. Right, I've missed one part out, and that's, I think I had stairs up here just to make those a little bit more defined. There you go. Should these be stairs as well? I don't know. It's up to you. You can do whatever you want with that. Yeah, that probably looks better. Anyway, we're going to add his pectoral muscles now. He's obviously been hitting the gym again. Let's put these walls down here to finish this sort of belt area. And then this is his arm that's holding the shield. And then we've got an arm over here as well. As a human being, he's got 2 arms. Then where does this start? Right, we'll start at the top, like this. And then, I don't know, you can just do whatever you want. I'm not following the diagram here. Maybe I should. You just want to make his pectoral muscles. If you don't know what pectoral muscles are, they're your breasts, if you're a man. The muscles that go over the breast area. I don't know. I imagine most people do know what pectoral muscles are. And deltoid muscles are the ones that go around your shoulder. What am I doing now? I don't know, that's alright. You can add some slabs to it if you want. Make it look a little bit smoother like that, but I mean, that's good enough. You can see what it looks like there. My dog's like wanting to leave this room, but the recording has started and he must remain until it is finished. So block there. Block here. Right, that's done. And then it's gonna get easy now. And then what do we want? Right, this is really easy. I'm not sure how well I formed this hand, to be honest with you. I think it will look really weird at this stage. Yeah, alright, that's this section done. It will look like this. And yeah, I know that looks weird, it looks really deformed. But with the sword in his hand, it looks alright. I promise you, it'll look like this. Which, I think that looks alright. So, I'm going to take a break now. I'm going to let my dog out. I'm going to go for a run. So, I'll see you in part 2, which is the same video. So, I don't know why I even said that. Anyway, see you later. I'm back to continue the video. We're going to start here on the back of the statue. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, and then how many up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. Remove that. And then how many blocks? So 2 blocks up. And then is it 1 to the side? No, it's 2 to the side. Just like that. And then 1 block above that one. There you go. This doesn't have to be exact. These are just the feathers on the, well, on the helmet. I've decided to start it at the back because, I don't know, it just seems like the most logical. Yeah, I hope the diagrams are working well. My monitor looks a bit blurry for some reason. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's just my eyes failing. Slowly fading. Right, there you go. Something like that. And then keep repeating the process. Feeling better today. I went on that run last night and that was nice. I went out for 2 hours and 13 minutes. I did over a half marathon, which is not too bad considering it was raining really heavily. I find it like a lot of people here in England, they complain about the rain and it makes me think, why are you still living here then? You know, you realise that it rains in England quite a lot, so why don't you just move away if you don't like it? I don't mind it, honestly. It's better than it being extremely hot, isn't it? You know, at least we don't get forest fires like I think in Rhodes right now in Greece. They're having a lot of forest fires. I don't know. I don't watch the news. Not after certain events in the UK, like the you know, a certain pandemic that annoyed me, and political things. It just makes me fed up. I can't do anything about it, so I may as well not know anything about it. What are we doing here? I always find a way to go wrong. Alright. Is that what have I... Oh, yeah. There you go. Right. Diagram's probably easier to follow than this video, so... Okay. Yeah, feeling pretty good. It always makes me happier, you know, if I feel a little bit sad. If you go out and do a little run. I really like running at night time. Obviously, it might be dangerous where you live, but if you're in an area where you can safely do it, I recommend it. It's very therapeutic, in my opinion. Right, I think we're coming to the first part of the helmet here. You see how this is forming into the feathers. I'm hoping this video does reasonably well because the there should be stairs, so you see here. This won't be in the diagrams, but it's not the most important thing in the world anyway. Can I place them like... Okay, I'm gonna have problems here. I'll have to cheat using World Edit. Yeah, the one that I made for the Viking statue was quite popular, which is what's prompted me. It's strange, my vocabulary changes whenever I make a video. It prompted me to make this one. I don't think I've ever used that word before, prompted. So that's the first time for that. Yes, I thought, well, I could make something similar and improve upon that tutorial. And I'm hoping this one's better. I know the commentary and other things, they're not the best, obviously, but I mean, I think just doing it block by block in this way is better than how I did it before, and actually showing you what the process is like, rather than saying you know, you can do the rest. I think there should be a slab on either side like that. I don't know, if there isn't, that's fine. You can add a slab there if you want. And then, yeah, to copy this. So I've gone for sort of a, I don't know what century this is from, like 12th, 13th century maybe. I kind of just went for something from memory. I used to play Medieval 2 Total War, and the knights in that game had helmets similar to this. Okay. Just have to scratch my head. Alright, so we're coming to the front of the helmet. I'm just going to use full blocks to begin with. I'm not sure how heavy this would be in real life. I think there's, from what I've seen on YouTube, there's a misconception that armor was really inflexible and hard to move in. I don't know why I said really inflexible and hard to move in, as if, you know, as if I needed to say hard to move in after inflexible. Anyway, just criticising my own commentary there. I believe it's reasonably... It was reasonably comfortable. I guess if you get a cheap set of armour, it's going to be quite uncomfortable, but from what I've seen from various YouTube videos, it looks reasonably comfortable and not too heavy. You know, when you can compare it to modern Kevlar vests, it's not too bad. So I don't know, maybe this suit was quite comfortable. Although I think if I was in a battle, obviously mostly you're going to be standing around and walking. But even if you're just walking, when I'm walking around with a big coat on, I can sweat a lot, and it can become quite uncomfortable. So I think that would be the only thing that would be the issue for me. The fact that it would be too warm inside. I don't know. They probably figured out. They probably had solutions to these problems. You know, and that's the good thing with a cloak. You can put it on. It's strapped to your back like this model has a cloak. If you're cold, you can wrap it around yourself. You know, if you're too warm, take it off. Right, I think that's it for the helmet. Yeah. So if you've made it out of stone, you can add these bits in. You know, put polished. And the site there. Have I completed that? Yeah, that's all done. Yeah, you can add those secondary special blocks in to do the edges, and yeah, that's about it. I'm going to be moving on to how you can add foliage to the statue. So if I fly over here, there should be a statue without some foliage somewhere. I was working on a castle design there, and I can't really be arsed for that, to be honest. I was going to sort of integrate the statue into a castle, as you can see there, but I don't know. I might do that at some point. I'm not sure if I'm particularly happy with that design. I don't know. Anyway, back to the video. So there's a few errors here, which is annoying. But anyway, there are, if I can speak properly, there are a few blocks, I think 4 blocks that you need. So vines, you need jungle. Let's go for leaves, actually. Let's just look at the leaves. You need 2 types of leaves. Well, you can go for 1 if you really want. I use jungle leaves and then birch. And then I like to use dark oak logs. Dark oak wood. There we go. So essentially, we make the big vines with the jungle leaves. We make the small vines with the regular vines. And actually, you need some grass blocks. And you need some grass. Or you can use bone meal, right, in survival. Or you can gather grass, I think. With shears, sorry. And then with the trees, like I say, use dark oak wood and then birch leaves. I think that looks like a kind of hardy shrub or tree, you know, but well, obviously you can use whatever you like. Put some grass blocks down, spread some grass about so it looks like it's overgrown. Break up some of these. I haven't broken them up there, but you can break up some of the what did I call them before? These arches and the railings. And then I'm quickly going to show you a demonstration of how you can do it. So let's say we're working at the front, right? We want the front to look overgrown. Get your jungle leaves. Start placing them randomly. That's a bit loud, actually. I don't know why that's so loud. Maybe it's just my hearing super sensitive. So you can start with a bit of a patch there. Like that if you want, you know. Bulk it out a little bit. And then you can thin it down to these sort of these sort of bits, as if it's keep climbing around the building. And I suppose if you're in survival, you could make this a base. Like you could, if the center bit's hollow, you could make little, like, you know, little holes in there, little windows, and make this a base if you wanted to. That would be interesting. I think maybe I should have done that from the start rather than, well, I don't know, you're obviously clever people. You can decide to do whatever you want. So yeah, that's how you do that kind of thing. You can just make it without the clump at the bottom, which is what I've done. I've buried it so you have some pieces that are starting off just like that. Yeah, something like that. With the vines, obviously, like that, and then, I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. Just be very, one thing I would suggest is be very generous with the amount of foliage that you use. So yeah, you'll have to gather a lot of blocks. I suppose the benefit with vines in survival is that they do grow, so it's less effort essentially. And as I said, you can break up some of these arches as if, you know, weather and time has had an effect on this structure, and then you can add some vines going down like that, and then maybe on the other side as well. Is that going to attach? No. Okay, something like that. With the trees, give you a little tree tutorial. Let's say if a tree is just seeded here, bring it out. Let's get some branches in here. Doesn't have to be anything special, really. Okay, there we go. I mean, it's a very sort of small tree, but it's the sort of thing that you can imagine growing in a harsh environment. And then with the birch leaves, you can just, what I do, I get each branch and put a load of leaves on it, over it in that sort of shape. I think at the start it looks a bit terrible, but eventually begins to take form. Okay, something like that. That doesn't look too bad. You can make it look a bit prettier if you want to. Like, there are maybe some better examples there, like that one. And if you really wanted to, it doesn't really look right with this kind of tree, but you could attach vines to it like that. If you're doing a more, I don't know, if you picked a different kind of tree, that would look better. And yeah, I guess that's it. Is there anything else to cover? Oh, the sword. I almost forgot about the sword. That's crazy. Right, which one do we go to? Wow, that'd be funny. Just completely forget about the sword. All right, so get some cobblestone. What is that? Deep slate? When did they add that to the game? Honest to God, I've not seen that before. What am I doing? Slab. How many slabs are there? I just want cobblestone. Where do I begin this? Right, okay. I've got it. So 2 here and then just go 2 blocks up every time. And then how tall do I make it? When do we turn to, oh, the last one. So keep going up. And then reach the center. You see the center of the helmet here. And then you want 2 walls. And then I think, what do we want here? Sorry about this. I see what's going on. So, oops. Go up to that sort of height. Okay. So you can see how it looks like it's tapering. And then what do I do to make it look? Is it here? No, I think it's the next one. Oh no, it is that one. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, maybe it's like, there we go. Yeah, so that's the sword. Obviously that's the guard there. You can add that in if you want. And yeah, that's the tutorial, that's the statue finished. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope the commentary was reasonably okay. And let me know if you've got any suggestions. Thank you for watching.